Hello, hello, beautiful, beautiful loves. Standing in the sun and all the feelings within move and forgiving and forgetting everything, the past, all of it, being made new. And because we now know our worth, we now know our value, we remember the trusted authority and divine reverence, the divine being that we are. Abundance and wealth is just a byproduct. It really is that easy. And so I thought I would get on here and deliver a little transmission. If you're new here, hi, I am Jennifer Renee, and this is Within by Jen. I deliver planetary, collective, ascension transmissions for guidance along the changing spaces and what we will see being played out as the old system kind of just self-destructs, really. And I say that because it kind of implodes within itself, because people are starting to wake up and realize and ask more questions and become more curious. And you're probably starting to feel a lot of this like uncertainty and questioning within your vessel of, like, it didn't make sense at this point. Now it really doesn't make sense. Or what are we doing? Where are we going? What's happening? And so because of that, we'll start looking more within. We'll start listening more within and really being present here to allow ourselves to become the divine authority, to become the sovereign being, to be independent, the independent like entity of the singularity, but also connected to the all, but also in the space of like the warrior aspect, the warrior child being alive. We have learned so much by walking through our pain and honoring all of our scars that I heard a song the other day. It said, our scars are now our medals. And there are medals of honor because we have sat with our scars and we have cried in our scars. We have cried the deep, deep pain. And also for me personally, sitting with all the humbleness of the emotion and what it brings. So when it says you will be brought to your knees, I mean, when you allow yourself to feel fully and let it take you, let the emotion, let you become the emotion, but also release the emotion. It is so humbling that it will drop you over and over again. And that humbleness is what it takes to be in truth, in integrity, and in dignity, to be able to be on a larger scale and to be a leader in this new space. And so if you're here, I thank you. It is an honor, a privilege, and a blessing to be here and to be of service in this way. And if you are kind of wondering or questioning, or you're curious and you've landed on this page, stick around. It is great. We talk about real stuff, truth. I can't honestly tell you the trajectory of, except for moving forward and how we as individuals can build solid foundational businesses, but also the internal structure to no matter what you do, it doesn't matter what you do because you shine no matter where you go. But you lead with authority, you lead with divine supremacy is what I'm hearing. And we lead with integrity and truth and honor to the highest light and resonance through the divine will of Mother, Father, God, in the harmonies and in the harmonics of all that we are. And so I can speak for myself of when I knew as a child I was here for something bigger. I didn't really know what that meant. I knew the way the world showed it. And so in my mind, I was like, well, am I going to be, maybe in your childhood brain, I can speak honestly. I didn't know if it was like I was going to be famous. I was going to be, I didn't know. I didn't know how it was going to become. I just knew that I didn't want to be certain things. I didn't really want to be I don't know, maybe a rock star, nothing against him. That just wasn't, that didn't feel right. And so I didn't know how it would become, but me honoring myself and listening, and quite honestly, just listening to the guidance and taking action when the inspiration flows, it was just like this beautiful cycle of events that laid the groundwork and then built me in truth and integrity. And so it is your wildest dreams come true. It is your dream life in being and in form. And it is living in the inspiration that you have always dreamt and wanted to be. And then it's just really going within and finding out when you started silencing yourself, when you started playing small, when you allowed other people's thoughts and opinions to dictate what you do. And for many of us, we were born into a system that threw a number on us. And then basically, like, if you act out of line, you get in trouble. If you do anything that questions authority, you're going to get in trouble. And so the more that we go back to like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense to me. And this feels more like a box. This feels more like a condition and a space. But also, because of that, I can speak honestly that as my storyline emerged maybe from my child youth, and as I became something, and then I started dismantling that something to remember the all thing, if that makes sense, if you're following my vision. It really was about 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. It really was about honoring the journey, honoring the path, honoring with love, and remembering who we are to the fullest divine light and resonance, and allowing that to shine so bright that no matter where we go, it's blessed. It is blessed, and we are blessed to be a blessing. So I will deliver a transmission. This is always for our highest and best good and the highest good of all, through the divine will of Mother, Father, God, in service to humanity. And so when I say for the highest and best good and the highest good of all, I say that because I never wanted, and I've spoke of this before, but I never wanted a manifestation to happen in my life that meant I was taking from somebody else, or that meant that somebody else had to go through hardship for me to get what I wanted. I wanted it to be in divine timing, and I asked for the highest and best good and the highest good of all so that I could listen within and I could actively learn the messages, put into practice what was being given to me, the tests, the emotions, the playing fields that were being gifted to me. I had to put them into practice to learn in accordance to the divine will, to be here and to be a teacher. Ya kurea makaratisi ayana korestana ya oyana maya karadisi ana ustiana akati ora ma ayana osu ayana lala istina mokana itina ayana korasi analaya akitisi ana wutisi atosh akra omakarana tisi atawaya awayana korayana makaratisia lataya otisia nanamaya o karayastara ayanara ayana oya aya oyana watiana akaramotisia ayanana atisia la ua kamanani anakoraya ayatisia apushua kumora nia nakuro atatisia morkoraya amakaratia nakuro tisia wakarukoratisia nakashi awana yasia nakara waya ayanakara oyastana moratasia na wa ayana oyana ayana waya o puatakaremia o la latia sano kuratasia upukriana katakati ayana fora yastia cara o ayana gatoro asia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, this this is such a high vibrational joy. Like, what is higher than joy? What is it is ecstatic. It is ecstatic. It is elated. It is so playful and so jubilant and so like vivacious was yesterday. And I'm so grateful that if you have not watched yesterday's transmission, I am sitting next to my tree outside with a white sweatshirt on. I'll just link it below. And I was hearing vivaciousness. And so I was really sitting in that space of what playing and having fun and what that means for us. And this sound codes in the body, alive in the divine and well to live in abundance, in wealth, in prosperity, being blessed to be a blessing. If you are a caregiver and you are here, you know what I'm talking about. The old system was based on something that is obsolete. It's no more. It is no more. And the systems that we're here building as a community together are to put the money in the hands of the people that actually care, to put the money in the hands of the people that want to make a difference, that want to give, and that want to see people live to the fullest. I want you to stand in your power and stand in your authority. You don't need me. That's the most beautiful gift, is when you step into a space of a real, true teacher, they want you to thrive on your own. And some of the hardest part for me is when I was working with a lot of my one-on-ones, the hardest part is the transformation happens so quickly when you're truly open. And the thing is if you're not truly open, it doesn't take much time for us to kind of step into that space where you will be open and you are open. And then you build accordingly in your waking world. But some of the hardest things were for me was working with somebody and making such a beautiful, beautiful connection, and then seeing their transformation and saying, my work here is done. And it's such an honor and a blessing to know that how I assist is to help you fly, and we may never see each other again. And that was a hard thing, because if you know, you want to build connections and you want to build friendships, but first and foremost, I am here to help and I am here to serve. And so I have had to really quiet my friend space, because you'll recognize where a lot of people want to be your friends, but when it comes to truth and integrity, a lot of people don't want to hear what you have to say by just being your friend and having casual conversation, because you speak your truth. You speak it honestly. It's like out of the mouths of babes, you speak it with truth and love. But if people aren't used to that, it's funny how when we're with children and we see a child walking around and they say it, nobody gets upset. But when it comes out of an adult's mouth, everybody's really quick to fire or be mad or just kind of not want to hang out anymore. And that was a space that I really had to honor within me and realize that this is who I am. And I am a person that causes friction in the body to where you can feel what you're still holding on to. And my hopes is that you see it as a gift. You see it as an opportunity to say, wow, she is stirring something within me. And that maybe if I sit with whatever feeling is surfacing, I can release it with love. And so we know and we understand that that's why we're here. We're here to serve first and foremost. We're here to be leaders in the spaces with truth and integrity. That's really it. So is that all? I love that these are all coming through without the English language. Akura makaratisia no wakaratosi asetashia mwakatarayona ayastala kuramaya tasiana okra makaratisia noko ayanakiarona yakirayana yakiratisi yatamakia wa asiana hia ayana kulaya ayanasi aya do kura makaratisi anastiro koya amoa kralia yatura para yanastiro koya stanadiama eko atasi yasamakira wa. So a short story. In a dream, I had a situation where I was hung in a column, but I was hung with a very loose scarf in Rome. And I realized that the alabaster person that got me, that was in my face and put me in there, put me in to protect me. And that I surrendered to the space. As I got out, I'm running because everyone's trying to attack me. I'm at this point running on all four legs. And so I had to like transition into something else. And this was ancient Roman times. And I was dressed in all white. I was feminine. I was in a feminine body. And I was dressed in all white, getting ready to go prepare a speech. And that's how the dream started. And then as we're running, there is an infant boy with me and we're running and I'm like, come on, let's go. We got to go. We got to get out of here. And as we do, I found there was a dagger in my hand at a man that was coming up to attack me. And I remember looking at this ancient, beautiful dagger thinking, how did I get this? And so the point of that story was that there's so much more to it, but I won't go into it. That is, if you're curious about this will be what my membership platform is all about. So I can go deeper into these stories, but for this right here, I'm going to keep it more condensed. And so the dagger, the beginning of the transmission, the lighthearted, effervescent vivaciousness is the feeling and the joy of being alive in the divine. And then it felt like that second transmission was coming in and removing and swiping away all that no longer serves. And you do have that authority, but it is really about going in and being honest with yourself of, if I make this decision, how am I going to move forward? Or if I make this decision, how can I be in the space and accept where I am, love and forgive myself, and then take action moving forward, listening to the inspiration. And that's really all it is in a nutshell. But it is about using kind of the swords of justice to clean slate, to open the divine, to be alive and to be here, and then to take the action steps when the inspiration hits and flows. And if we do that, there's nothing to worry about at all, because it is a beautiful dance of life, the rhythm and the movement of the sacred. And it is absolutely glorious in all ways and in all ways. So I thank you for being here. I thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, as they have helped just bring awareness to my channel that I'm here to be of service, and that it will hopefully, the algorithm will put these videos on your For You page so you can find the guidance, find the teachings as well. And so everyone's here for a purpose. What you're here, the fullest expression of you. That's all it is the fullest expression of you, when we don't have to wear a mask, we don't have to wear a costume, we don't have to perform, we don't have to do anything but be, my love. Being is the new frequency, the embodiment, the embodiment. Ooh, karamokarata-sina, karawutiala, ayata-siyana. The embodiment is real. The embodiment is real. And we have been working so diligently to be here. It will be 7 years for me of straight dedication in this month, 7 years this month. And for those of you who have been on the path for longer, I cannot thank you enough for your dedication and your commitment, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you paving the way. And then for all others that are now joining, we're here to be of service, and we're here to help in the ways that are gifted to us. And your journey does not have to look like mine, my love. It is yours and yours alone. And your truth is yours and yours alone. And the stories that we tell ourselves are ours, and they are ours to sort through and to honor, to come back here, come back in here, and honor with self-respect, with self-love, and with dignity, and in the humbleness of all that is, so that we lead in service without the old constructs. So thank you for being here. If you would like to donate, if you would like to support, I will leave the links below. It is because of your support that I can continue on with this work and mission and delivering these transmissions for free. And if the paid platform is something that you would like to join to hear a little bit more of my personal stories, I'm working on that right now. I am hoping that it will be on my website, withinbyjen.com. The paid page is waiting. It's in it says it's basically being, what's the word that I'm looking for, where they have to overview or they have to review. So I don't really know how that goes. So if anybody has some tech support and understands that, it would be helpful. If not, hopefully that will be approved and then we can move forward with this space. So I thank you. I love you. I'm Jennifer Renee. This is Within by Jen. And you are a divine, beautiful, radiant light. And you were created in the image of the divine. And we are here to live that fullest expression. I love you. I'll see you in the next video.